Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Josie and today we are going to be making meringues. Now I've never made meringues before, mostly because I could never really find the time, but that's what we'll be doing today and I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down for me below, and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos like this. On to the meringues! Okay, so we're gonna get started. Today I'm making meringue cookies, like I said, from bakingamoment.com. That's where I got this recipe. It's like one of the first things that came up when I searched up baking meringue cookies. So we're gonna do that. There's like this whole blog thing that I read. It was pretty interesting. We're just gonna try it out. So I've never made meringues before, but I have made macarons and chiffon cake, which both utilize egg whites. So hopefully that knowledge will help me out. So the first thing it says to do is preheat the oven to 200 degrees. And then the second thing is to place egg whites in a large clean mixing bowl, add the cream of tartar and salt. So I'm going to preheat the oven. 200 is pretty low, but what I read about meringues is that you bake them for a long time at a really low temperature. I guess it dries it out more than it bakes it, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so now we have to do the 4 egg whites, and the eggs have to be room temperature. And that I know for sure because it's the same thing with macarons, same thing with chiffon cake. Honestly, it's the same thing with anything you're baking. Room temperature eggs are always going to be better than full temperature. When you put in something cold, it tends to separate. The dough will like separate, and you don't want that. You want a very conjoined dough. Okay, so you might be wondering like, oh, what's the best way to crack an egg? So especially in this case where it's so important that you don't get any yolks in your egg whites, you want to do it in a separate bowl. And it sounds like a lot of work and you might be like, oh, like I'm an expert egg cracker, it's fine. But the problem is if you get even a little bit of yolk in it, it's ruined. It's going to be the same thing with anything that uses egg whites. So I would just take the extra time, better safe than sorry, crack it, and then you're going to separate like this. Cool. Then dump out the yolk, and then put the egg whites in your mixing bowl. A little bit of extra work, but I promise it's gonna pay off in the long run. And you know, maybe you are an expert egg cracker, but this is just what I do because this is only 4 eggs, but macarons require like 8 eggs. And one time I put them all out in one bowl, and then literally on the 8th egg, one of them broke. And then there was yolks in all my 8 eggs and I had to start over. It was a pretty sad time. Have you hit the like button yet? Have you subscribed yet? I hope you have, because this is something that I'm really passionate about and I'm so excited that I get to share this with you guys. The yolks are really heavy and they have a lot of fat in them, so meringues and anything using only egg whites are really light. So macarons, for example, super light. Chiffon cake is a lot lighter than a normal cake. Meringues are obviously really light. So you don't need the yolks for that. And it also helps with color. Like cupcakes, if you make cupcakes and you don't put the yolk in, you'll get like a lot of a whiter cake. So when I made vanilla cupcakes, that's what I did. And that's how you get your cake white instead of like yellow looking, because it's actually the yolks. But no fear, the yolks are not going to waste because I actually used 4 egg yolks to make lemon meringue, and I made lemon cupcakes yesterday, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm pretty sure you need exactly 4 eggs yolks, so this is going to be good. And you don't need the whites, just the yolks. Now I'm going to put the egg whites in a large mixing bowl, add the cream of tartar. Screws off. So cream of tartar helps the egg whites become really stiff. Otherwise, you might have to beat a long time before you get stiff peaks, and then you might overmix. So we're gonna use a 1/4 teaspoon. Oh, this is a 1/2 teaspoon. Whew! Scary. 1/4 teaspoon We'll whip the whites on medium speed until foamy. I'm going to move the camera so that you guys can see. Okay, we're going to mix this on medium speed until it turns frothy. Okay, so we mixed until frothy. That looks pretty frothy to me. And then now we're going to start adding the sugar a little bit at a time. So I read that it's really important to add the sugar in really slowly. So tablespoon at a time. I think I did that right. Try it up. Right, so while that's going on, I actually lined my baking sheet with parchment paper. So we're looking for it to become thick and glossy. It definitely looks glossy. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, so that is still very, very soft. So as you can see, the top like folded over after, and that's when you know it's a soft peak. A stiff peak will stay completely upright. So we're going to beat that a little bit more. Okay, let's have another look. Oh, see, that's a lot better. Okay, see how that sticks straight up? It does curve over like a little bit, like a very little bit at the very top. So I'm gonna beat it for another like 10 seconds, but that looks really good. And then I'm going to show you guys some really awesome tips for piping. Looks good. Okay, so that is like pretty much as stiff as it's gonna get. I'm gonna add some coloring because white is kind of boring. These are for my sister and her favorite color is blue. But pink meringues just look better. So we're gonna go with pink. Just like that. Gorgeous! So just a really pale pink, just to give it a little bit of color. And now we're on to piping. Okay, fun fact, I forgot to add the vanilla extract, so we're going to add the vanilla extract. Hopefully that doesn't mess with it too much. I'm also adding a little pinch of salt. Okay, those are pretty stiff peaks. So we're gonna try this again. Here are my epic piping tips. So a lot of people, they put their tip in the bag like this, and then they put all their stuff in the bag, and then they kind of have trouble clipping this edge piece because it's not long enough, and you have to be able to stick it through. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to clip this first. And I've been doing this a lot, so I know pretty much exactly where to cut it, but it's always better to be safe than sorry, because then you'll have to get a new bag. So I cut it and make sure it doesn't run into any of the designs at the top. And then you're going to twist, and you're just kind of going to shove it in. That little knot that you made, you're going to shove it straight in. So it looks like that. And then you don't even need a cup, although I know some people like to use that method, but you can use your hand as the cup. And you can hold it like this, which is pretty cool. Wow. So this is super light and fluffy. Okay, you know what? This is not really going to fit, so I'm just going to stop here. You don't want to have an overflowing bag because it's going to be a lot harder to control. So I'm just going to start here, and I'll come fill the bag back up when I'm ready. So the more you twist at the top, the more this is going to come undone. And then I guess we just start. So Okay, it's not bad. One's a little better. I don't really know, like, what these are supposed to look like. I think they look like that. So I'm going to, this warm batter, I'm gonna dump it back into the mixer and then we're gonna whip it one more time. Any even semi-experienced bakers will tell you it's a lot easier to just get a new bag. But you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use my old bag. So my hand got pretty messy, but you know what, it's okay. I'm going to trim this. Keep these flat. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna pipe a little more. Couple more. And a couple more. And I think that's as good as it's gonna get. So this is what they look like. They look pretty good. This is the flat one I tried, which is kind of pretty. These ones look a little strange because I tried that too. But yeah, like these look pretty good. I'm gonna pop these in the oven and wait 2 hours. Yay. Well, here we go. We're gonna set it for 2 hours and hope it turns out well. Okay, so while I'm waiting, I'm going to make some lemon curd. You should watch that video of mine on making lemon curd, favorite lemon curd recipe. And I'm also eating some lunch. Shout out to Panera and their really good mac and cheese. And for making it come in this cute little container that you can put in the microwave. Really good. Try it. So the meringues just came out and they are gorgeous. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but yeah, pretty. So definitely crispy, but it's kind of chewy at the end too because it is a meringue, so sugar. Yeah, I mean, for my first time, not gonna lie, I think it turned out pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and serve these, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time.